Payment fraud. In 2022 alone, over £1.2 billion was stolen in the UK through payment fraud. That's not an error. That's every minute. Thousands of pounds vanishing straight out of people's accounts, without them noticing until it's too late. This kind of fraud happens when someone gets access to your debit or credit card details and uses them to make purchases or transfer money without your permission. Sometimes it's a result of your card being cloned. Other times it's stolen in a data breach. Or you accidentally enter your details into a fake website that looks just like the real thing. What makes it so dangerous is how quick and quiet it is. One small online transaction, a weird $5.47 charge you ignore, and then, boom, your entire account is drained. Identity theft. Imagine waking up and discovering you're suddenly $50,000 in debt for cars you never bought, credit cards you never applied for, and even medical procedures you never had. This actually happened to a woman named Michelle Brown. All someone needed was her name, address, and social security number from a single stolen rental application. They spent over a year secretly pretending to be her, ruining her credit and her life along the way. This is identity theft at its most devastating. Criminals steal your personal information and become you on paper, racking up massive debts while you live your normal life, completely unaware. They harvest your social security number, address, and mother's maiden name from data breaches, stolen mail, or by simply digging through your trash like financial vultures. By the time you notice, the damage is usually already done, and fixing it can take months, even years. ACH Fraud. Your paycheck should have hit your account this morning, but your balance is zero. Someone just pulled off ACH fraud using your bank routing and account numbers. ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse, the system that handles direct deposits, automatic bill payments, and bank transfers. ACH fraud happens when criminals use your bank account information to steal money or redirect payments meant for you. Here's how it works. Fraudsters get your routing and account numbers from a check, online banking breach, or phishing email. They then set up automatic withdrawals from your account or redirect your direct deposits to accounts they control. Since ACH transactions can take days to process, you might not notice until it's too late. Small businesses get hit especially hard. Criminals often target payroll accounts right before payday, stealing entire company payrolls. The average ACH fraud loss is about $25,000 per incident. Unlike credit card fraud, there's no federal law limiting your liability for ACH fraud, meaning you could lose everything in your account. Account takeover fraud. The horror begins with a simple email. Your password has been changed. You didn't change it. You frantically try to log into your bank account, but nothing works. Your phone number's been changed, your email address updated, your security questions altered. In the span of minutes, you've been locked out of your own financial life. Account takeover fraud is digital kidnapping. Criminals don't just steal your money, they steal your entire financial identity, holding it hostage while they systematically drain every account you've worked years to build. They change all your security settings, making you a stranger to your own banks. These financial predators buy your login credentials on the dark web, obtained through massive data breaches you never even heard about. Once inside your accounts, they work quickly and methodically, transfer money to external accounts, apply for credit lines, and change your contact information so you can't receive fraud alerts. The average victim loses $12,000, but the psychological damage runs deeper. Imagine watching helplessly as criminals spend your retirement savings, max out credit cards in your name, and destroy decades of financial planning. By the time you discover what's happened, they've vanished, leaving you to pick up the pieces of your shattered financial life. Advance fee fraud. Congratulations! You've won $500,000. Just send us $2,000 for processing fees to claim your prize. If this sounds too good to be true, that's because it's advance fee fraud. Advance fee fraud tricks victims into paying money upfront for promised benefits that never materialize. The classic example is the Nigerian prince email, but modern versions are much more sophisticated. Common advance fee scams include fake lottery winnings, inheritance scams, and fake loan approvals. Scammers pose as lawyers, government officials, or bank executives to seem legitimate. They create official-looking documents and websites to back up their stories. The psychology is simple. They offer you something valuable but require small upfront payments for taxes, processing fees, or insurance. Once you pay, they ask for more money for additional complications. Victims often continue paying because they've already invested so much. Americans lose about $1.48 billion annually to advance fee fraud. The average victim loses $7,500. What's particularly cruel is that scammers often target elderly people, unemployed individuals, and those facing financial hardship. Investment fraud. Bernie Madoff looked investors in the eye and promised them steady returns while operating the largest Ponzi scheme in history. For decades, he stole $65 billion from thousands of victims, including Holocaust survivors, charities, and retirees who trusted him with their life savings. When his scheme collapsed in 2008, some victims lost everything: their homes, their retirement, their children's college funds. Several committed suicide rather than face financial ruin. Investment fraud doesn't just steal money, it murders dreams. Scammers promise unrealistic returns on cryptocurrency investments, forex trading, or precious metals, using fake testimonials and manufactured success stories to lure victims. They create professional websites, rent fancy offices, and even pay early investors with money from new victims to create the illusion of legitimate profits. The psychology is diabolical. Criminals target people's deepest financial fears and desires: fear of poverty and retirement, desire for financial independence, dreams of leaving something for their children. They prey on people during vulnerable moments: job loss, divorce, medical emergencies, when victims are desperate for financial solutions. The average investment fraud victim loses $70,000, but many lose everything. What makes these schemes particularly cruel is that victims often recruit friends and family members, destroying relationships along with finances. Entire communities have been financially devastated by sophisticated investment fraudsters who vanish when the scheme collapses. Credit card fraud. You check your credit card statement and see charges for a shopping spree in Miami. Problem is, you live in Ohio and haven't left your house all week. You're now a victim of credit card fraud. Credit card fraud occurs when someone uses your credit card information to make unauthorized purchases. This can happen even if you still have your physical card. Criminals just need your card number, expiration date, and security code. Data breaches are a major source of stolen credit card information. When retailers like Target or Home Depot get hacked, millions of card numbers hit the black market. Criminals also use card skimmers at ATMs, gas pumps, and restaurants to steal your information when you swipe. The good news? Federal law limits your liability for credit card fraud to $50, and most credit card companies offer zero liability protection. The bad news? Credit card fraud costs the economy about $24.26 billion annually, and those costs get passed to consumers through higher fees and interest rates. Fraudulent charities. When Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, something sinister followed in its wake: an army of fake charities with names like Hurricane Katrina Relief Fund and Katrina Victims Assistance. Generous Americans donated millions to organizations that existed only to steal from both donors and the victims they claimed to help. Fraudulent charities are emotional vampires that feed on human compassion. They exploit disasters, diseases, and social causes to trick people into donating to fake organizations. Scammers steal photos of real victims, create professional websites, and even set up fake offices to appear legitimate. The timing is always calculated for maximum emotional impact. After terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or during holiday seasons when generosity peaks, fake charities multiply like parasites. They use high-pressure tactics, claiming donations are urgently needed or offering fake prizes for contributions. Some fraudulent charities operate in legal gray areas, technically existing as nonprofits, but spending 90% of donations on administrative costs and executive salaries. Others are pure fiction, created solely to steal donations before disappearing. Either way, money meant to help suffering people lines criminals' pockets instead. Cybercrimes. At 3 a.m., screens across the Colonial Pipeline network displayed a chilling message: your files are encrypted. Pay $4.4 million in Bitcoin within 72 hours or lose everything forever. The ransomware attack shut down America's largest fuel pipeline for 6 days, creating gas shortages and panic across the East Coast. This was cybercrime on a national scale, but smaller versions happen thousands of times daily. Hospitals, schools, and small businesses wake up to locked computer systems and ransom demands. Criminals use sophisticated malware to encrypt everything from patient records to family photos, holding digital lives hostage for cryptocurrency payments. Business email compromise represents cybercrime's evolution into psychological warfare. Criminals hack company email accounts and study communication patterns for weeks. Then they impersonate executives, sending urgent requests for wire transfers to fake vendors. The FBI reports over $43 billion in BEC losses since 2016. Cryptocurrency has become the perfect crime enabler, allowing criminals to receive payments that are virtually untraceable. SIM swapping attacks steal phone numbers to bypass two-factor authentication, while malware records keystrokes to capture passwords and banking information. The global cost exceeds $6 trillion annually, more than the GDP of most countries. And did you enjoy this breakdown? Then subscribe and hit that bell for more.